Hello, everyone, and a massive, warm welcome to today's video. It is an absolute pleasure to have you here. Before we embark on this truly cool and fascinating adventure, I want to take a genuine moment to send my very best wishes to you and your family. Wherever you are watching from, I truly hope you are in great health, feeling fantastic, and ready to explore one of the most unique and unexpected services on our planet. Now, let's bundle up in our warmest imaginary gear and travel to the most remote continent to discover a place where sending a postcard is the ultimate adventure, a post office in Antarctica. When you think of Antarctica, your mind probably conjures images of vast, endless sheets of ice, towering glaciers, incredible wildlife like penguins and seals, and brave scientists conducting research in the most extreme environment on Earth. What probably doesn't come to mind is standing in line to buy stamps or mailing a letter to a loved one. But believe it or not, on this frozen, remote continent, there are actually functioning post offices. This might just be one of the coolest and most surreal mailing experiences a person can have. The idea of a post office in a place with no permanent residence, where the population consists entirely of temporary scientists and support staff, and where temperatures can drop to levels that are almost unimaginable. Seems like something out of a whimsical story. Yet, it is very real. These post offices serve a crucial role, not just for the people living and working there, but for the thousands of tourists who visit each year, all eager to send a piece of this incredible place back home. Sending a postcard from Antarctica is the ultimate souvenir, a tangible connection to the bottom of the world that travels across oceans and continents to land in a mailbox, carrying with it a story unlike any other. The journey of that simple piece of mail is an epic tale of logistics, human ingenuity, and a deep-seated human desire to connect and share our experiences, no matter where we are. The most famous and charming post office in Antarctica is not located at a large scientific station, but rather on a tiny island called Goudier Island, which is part of the Palmer Archipelago, just off the coast of the Antarctic Peninsula. This is the home of Port Lockroy. Established by the British as a secret military base during World War II, it was later used as a research station until it was abandoned in 1962. In 1996, it was restored and is now managed by the UK Antarctic Heritage Trust. Today, it operates as a living museum, a historic site, and crucially, it hosts the world's most remote post office. The building itself is a small, sturdy wooden hut, painted a bright red, which stands out starkly against the dramatic backdrop of black rock and brilliant white snow and ice. It is surrounded by a colony of genta penguins, who go about their daily lives completely unconcerned by the human activity. For the few months of the Antarctic summer, a small team of 4 or 5 people live and work at Port Lockroy, managing the museum, monitoring the penguin colony, and running the post office. This is their home, their workplace, and their entire world for the season. Their job is to welcome tourists who arrive on small expedition cruise ships, educate them about the history of the site, and, of course, process the mail. Imagine that job, waking up every day to a view of mountains and glaciers, with penguins as your neighbors, and your task is to sell postcards and stamps to visitors from around the world. It is a unique and highly sought-after position, with thousands of people applying for just a handful of spots each year. So, how does the process actually work? Let's say you're a tourist fortunate enough to visit Port Lockroy. You climb into a small Zodiac boat from your larger ship and make the wet and windy journey to the island. You step ashore, carefully avoiding the penguins and their designated pathways, and you enter the small hut. Inside, it's like stepping back in time. It's cramped and crowded, filled with historical artifacts and, of course, a small gift shop counter. Here, you can buy beautiful postcards featuring scenes of Antarctica, as well as special Antarctic stamps issued by the British government. You choose your postcard, you write a message to your friends or family back home, you affix the stamp, and you hand it over to the staff. They cancel the stamp with a unique Antarctic postmark, which is a prized possession for philatelists or stamp collectors around the world. This postmark is the proof, the official mark, that this piece of mail truly came from Antarctica. Now, here's where the incredible journey begins. Your postcard doesn't just get put on a truck or a plane the next day. It joins a pile of thousands of other postcards and letters, all waiting for their ride off the continent. The staff at Port Lockroy collects all the mail throughout the season and stores it safely. When their season is ending, a ship comes to pick them up and resupply the base for the next year. This ship takes the mail bag back to the Falkland Islands, a British overseas territory in the South Atlantic Ocean. This journey alone can take over a week through the notoriously rough and unpredictable waters of the Drake Passage. From the Falklands, the mail is then put onto another ship or a flight headed to the United Kingdom. Once it arrives in the UK, it enters the British postal system. From there, it is sorted and sent onwards to its final destination anywhere in the world. This entire process means that a postcard mailed from Antarctica in January might not arrive at its destination until March or even April. It is a lesson in patience, both for the sender and the receiver. But that is a huge part of its charm. In our world of instant digital communication, where an email or a text message arrives in seconds, this delayed gratification is special. The recipient isn't just getting a postcard, they are getting an artifact that has been on a long and arduous adventure just to get to them. But Port Lockroy isn't the only place to mail a letter from Antarctica. Several of the larger, permanent scientific research stations also have their own postal services. For example, the United States McMurdo Station, the largest community on the continent, has its own post office. This is a much more modern operation run by the United States Postal Service. It has a U.S. zip code, 96599. Mail for McMurdo is sent from the U.S. to Christchurch, New Zealand, on regular military supply flights and then onwards to the continent on cargo planes equipped with skis to land on ice runways. Scientists and support staff stationed at McMurdo for months at a time rely on this service to receive packages from home, letters and care packages filled with their favorite snacks and comforts. Sending mail out from McMurdo follows a similar, but reverse, logistical chain. Other nations, like Chile, Argentina, and Russia, also operate postal services from their respective bases, allowing their personnel to stay connected to home. The logistics of moving mail to and from these bases is a monumental task, coordinated with military precision and integrated into the complex supply chains that keep these stations alive. A single forgotten item on a supply ship can mean going without for months, so the mail is treated with the same importance as food, fuel, and scientific equipment. It is a critical morale booster. In the depths of the long, dark Antarctic winter, when the sun doesn't rise for months and the station is isolated from the rest of the world, receiving a physical letter or a photo from a loved one can be a powerful emotional lifeline, a tangible reminder of the world beyond the ice. For the tourists who visit, the act of sending mail from Antarctica is a ritual. It's not just about the novelty. It's about taking a moment in one of the most awe-inspiring places on Earth to connect with someone they care about. It is a slow, thoughtful process. You have to physically choose the postcard, find a space to write, think carefully about your message because you can't just hit backspace and then physically hand it over, trusting it to a long and uncertain journey. It is the opposite of a quick selfie or a rushed social media post. It is a deliberate, meaningful act of communication. The post offices themselves, especially the one at Port Lockroy, are also vital for conservation and heritage. The revenue generated from the sale of postcards and stamps goes directly towards the maintenance of the historic site and the conservation efforts of the UK Antarctic Heritage Trust. By buying a stamp, you are not just paying for postage. You are helping to preserve a piece of history and support the ongoing monitoring of the local wildlife. So, a post office in Antarctica is far more than just a place to mail a letter. It is a symbol of human connection, a testament to incredible logistics, a vital service for isolated communities, a tool for conservation, and a source of joy for people all over the world who receive that unique postmark in their mailbox. It proves that no matter how far we go, no matter how extreme the environment, we have an innate need to reach out and say, "I was here, and I thought of you." Thank you so much for joining me on this journey to the world's most southern mailroom. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you in the next video.